Well, good afternoon on a beautiful summer-ish day. I'm going to say summer-ish. It's 22 degrees, so it's actually pretty warm. Well, compared to what it's been like recently. And I am off fishing. Going to try and get a tench or two. Going to Stockbridge Lake, which I have been to before, but it was a hell of a lot colder. And I thought it'd be nice to see it in its kind of summer colours, as it were. So hopefully we can get a few afternoon fishing for once, which is a bit random, but if I'm honest, I couldn't be asked to get up this morning. So let's get to the lake and see what we can catch. At Stockbridge Lake to a complete surprise. Now, last time I came here, it was blooming busy, and I thought because of the weather, that would be the case again, especially the fact that we're now about 1:15 in the afternoon. I thought I'd struggle to get a swim. One person fishing, that's it. The whole lake, the whole lake, bar one swim at the very far end, is empty. Might have to check my book just to make sure it's not shut for some reason, but I can't see why it would be. And if it is, he doesn't know either, so pick of the swims. Got all this end of the lake completely to myself, bar the golfers on the other side. We'll let them off. Just in shock. It is an absolutely beautiful lake though. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful estate lake in Surrey. I'm excited to get started now. Had the small kind of anxieties coming here. Will I be able to get a swim? I'm still at the stage where I don't really like filming. If I've got people all around me, I get a bit nervy. No problems here at all today. So let's get the kit out of the car and get cracking. Oh, it is warm. So, today I'm going to attempt to catch on the feeder, same way that I did last time I was here. And that went quite well, although completely different conditions. Now, if anything, this should be better conditions. Last time I come up here with my good old fishing pal Steve, we came up to a misty morning, freezing cold night it was, but we did catch a few. Today we had a fairly warm night, and it's pretty blooming warm now. Luckily, I'm in a nice shady swim. So not much of me is actually, or none of me in fact at all, is in sunlight. And I think, Jesus, just dropped the rod in the water. Let's put this over here. I think it should remain that way. I think the sun's going to be going down behind me, so it should already be past the trees. So we should be good. So unlike me, I haven't actually set anything up, which is very, very rare for me. I normally like to have the rod set up, but in all honesty, it was just laziness. I had plenty of time to do it during the week. I just didn't. I'm going to be using a classic cage feeder to start with anyway. See how we go. Now, I've been watching Duncan Charman's videos, and he was using a flatbed feeder. And the last time I was here, I tried the flatbed and didn't catch anything at all. But then, yeah, it was a different time of year and completely different bait. Duncan was using plastic casters, which I believe I actually have, hopefully, somewhere in here. Okay, maybe not. Well, I thought I had plastic casters, turns out I don't. But I do have the next best thing, or potentially a better thing. Real ones. So we'll get them sorted in a minute. I am just going to stick the feeder on. Then I'm going to put one of these little, oh, for God's sake. One of these, a bit hard to see, little corum quick change bead. Just to attach the hook links, a hell of a lot easier. And there we go. Got the feeder and the stop. That's all I'm going to do at this precise moment. So I'm now going to make up some ground bait and chuck a few feeders out just to get a bit of bait down. There's a fair few carp milling around. Didn't realise there were so many in here. I think I'm going to go to the right hand side of the island. Fairly close, not too close. Or in between the two islands anyway, somewhere around that area. And see if we can get some now. I have with me today this, which is, it's not really a test bait because you can actually it's actually out to buy now. But this is fruit crush, like ground bait, which I'm really excited to use. Now, anyone that's seen any of my videos, like the Bad Shot Lee ones, I'm a huge fan of these fruit crush boilies, fruit crush flavours. And the main boilie, or the only boilie I really use at the moment, is fruit crush for when I'm carp fishing. Oh, lovely. And I've done really well on it. Combination of fruit crush boilies, fruit crush wafters, and the fruit crush kind of glugs and that kind of thing. So to now give it a go as a ground bait is going to be awesome. I'm not going to go mad. I'll put about maybe a third of a bag in there to start with. Need a little bit of water. Little and often. Little and often. That doesn't apply when you're making ground bait. Little at a time, because you can't take it out. I'm really, really impressed with it so far. The consistency and how it goes together is incredible. It'll be great for the flatbed. So here it is. Really, really fluffy, and then you could just turn it into a ball. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Right, let's... Oh God, I'm making a mess everywhere. We'll give that a minute to soak in some goodness. And then we'll get some out in the pond.
everything's set up. We've got 5 feeder loads out there. I didn't go crazy because I thought it's still blooming hot at the moment. So we'll give that a go to start with. So I'm going to go with, get the casters sorted. So with the casters, they normally come like this. So it's best to they smell not very delightful. It's best to stick them in the old maggot pot and then fill that with water. That means you can see any floaters. Otherwise, when you're catapulting them out, or you've even got them on the hook link, they don't kind of float up and go horrible. So now I could just scoop off the few that are dead. They're all dead, but you know what I mean. And then yeah, they're all just sat there floating, so it's not really what I'm after. What to do next? I think I will catapult some of these out. Get off. See if I can get them close enough. Answer to that is no. That is not going to go out far enough, I don't think. No. Okay, so they're not going to reach where I want them to reach, so we won't bother doing that. Okay. Let's choose a rig and get it in the pond. One thing I did forget to mention is the ground bait, the fruit crush one that I'm using today, is available only at the Angler's Hideaway tackle shop in Basingstoke. Now, you may be able to give him a call and he'll post some out to you for cost, or just pop into the tackle shop. You know, they've got everything in there. Great range of baits, all their own baits, the Angler's Hideaway baits that are in there. They have obviously all the other baits as well, but the Angler's Hideaway ones are the ones that I use and had a hell of a lot of success on them. So hopefully this will be the same. May not be the bait's fault if I don't catch, obviously with this weather. It may be tricky anyway. The guys down at the other end that have been fishing there all day have only had 2 little rudd. So could be tricky, but this is the deeper end of the lake. That's the shallow end of the lake. So that's where I fished last time and had, you know, a fair few, but in my eyes, it was because it was a freezing cold night and then it got warm. That end heated up much quicker. So that's why I think we caught so well down there last time. Now it's been fairly warm recently. Not the, you know, it's been peeing down with rain every day near enough bar today. So I'm hoping this end is the right choice. But I'm not going to find out just sat here chatting, am I? So let's get the bait on, well, the rig on, then the bait on, feeder filled, get it out. Well, nothing is happening at all. I was filming a carp just going across the surface, and it must have been attracted to this ground bait because it literally went over the spot and then down. I was so expecting a bite. Maybe if I had a little fruit crush boilie on, or a little wafter or something, maybe I would have. Maybe he just doesn't like a couple of casters on a hook. But yeah, very, very quiet. So I'm gonna have something to eat. I saw these in Tesco's. Cheddar and pickle cheese rolls. Oh, they've got to be worth a try. And anyone that knows me knows that I love a pork and pickle pie. It's one of my favourite things. Anything with pickle, really. So I thought we'd do a little review, see what they're like. It is very nice, it's just there's not much in it. But what is it? It is very nice. Yeah, I'd have that again. It's not as good as a pork and pickle pie or a classic Ginster's pasty, but it'll do. It'll do. Just not happening. Absolutely nothing. So I'm going to do away with the cage feeder and go with a flatbed feeder. Oh, that's the old flatbed setup. So just a little inline flatbed with a very short hook link. It was actually a long hook link that was in a packet. I've just made it shorter, as the cage feeder really isn't doing anything. So let's stick a couple of casters on there, like so. I haven't got a mould with me or anything, so I'm just going to press it around. Little base layer on there. Fold the old casters in. I've just put a little bit of water in there. In fact, that might even be slightly wet. A bit wet, but should be fine. Should be fine. Just halfway through setting up a float rod, so I just put all the line through the eyes and sat it down there. I think I might give the float a go if this doesn't work up against the pads. It's a bit of an awkward cast now that I've sat here like this. Don't have the clip on anymore either. Yeah, it was good enough. It was actually very deep. Alright, let's see if the flatbed feeder makes any difference at all. Probably not, but it's worth a go. There we go. So I've put a little bit of bait out. Put a little bit of bait out around the lilies straight in front of me. A couple of handfuls of ground bait, pinged a few casters over it. So I'll set the float rod up in a minute and plumb her up so that she's ready. But I'll give this a little while first. If I've had nothing at all, no bites on it at all in an hour, then I'll probably change over to the float. I'll leave it set up for later on if I feel when the sun starts to go down a little bit, it might make life a little bit easier. Who knows? Right, let's get the float rod sort out. God, I can't speak today. Let's get the float rod set up and at least get it ready. Well, I was literally just setting up the float rod, and the feeder was away. Assuming it's a tench, it actually feels quite a nice fish. problem is it's going to go through the float line now, because I've left that out with the thing attached to it, the plummet. He's not a very big Tench, but it doesn't matter. It's a Tench. Great fight on lighter gear, it really is. It's not a big Tench, but where's the fun in just pulling them in on rope? This is so much more fun. Come on in this way, come on. You've had your fun. Here he is. There we go. Lovely jubbly. It's a bit of a tight swim, this is a bit awkward. I'm happy with that. Let's get it out and have a look. Wow, look at that. Beautiful dark green Tench. Absolutely stunning. Male fish. Give me an absolute beating for its size. Well, let's slip her back and see if we can get another one. Maybe I won't need the float rod after all. Well, that was fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Even though I've only been fishing probably an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours at the very most, you kind of already start to think, is it going to happen? Am I going to catch anything? It is roasting hot. Have I just chose it completely wrong conditions? Or chose the completely wrong conditions, should I say. But a fish. Now, I did bring with me my keep net randomly, because you are allowed them here. But I thought to myself, if I'd had 3 already, or 1 fairly quickly, then I may have got it out, but I don't think it's going to be one of those sessions where I'm catching really regular. I mean, hopefully I'm proved wrong and I get a few from now on. I think if I catch another one fairly quickly, then I'm going to use the keep net. Because I kind of did want to. I haven't used a keep net in a hell of a long time. So I'm just picking the Tench slime off the feeder. Off the hook link. Anyone who does any amount of Tench fishing knows that, yeah, the slime, it's not as, how do I put it? It's not as rank as bream slime, but it's still very slimy, strangely enough. Right, so let's get this back out in the ponds. As it did finally work. Maybe I should probably say, you know, cheers to Duncan Sherman. Would I have got that fish if I hadn't put a flatbed feeder on? Don't know. But the flatbed feeder has done it. Now I know the way that Duncan was doing it was similar to the way that I'm doing it. He used a flatbed feeder with a mould. I'm not using a mould this time, and he used pellets where I'm using ground bait. Yeah, and I think the only other difference is he used a plastic caster, which I would have used, but I didn't bring them with me. My own failure. quite a while now. And there's nothing else on the feeder as of yet. Might happen if I leave it out there, but I think I'm going to give the float a go. I've been baiting sort of around the edge of the lilies for a little while. Not a huge amount, just 2 little balls of ground bait and a few pouches of casters. So I think I'll bring the feeder in. And give the float a go. It's very, very awkward on the float. It's nearly not far off 6 foot deep. Let's try and move this over here. So it is pretty awkward to cast. Ooh. It's even more awkward when you tangle it. There we go. Right. Let's try and get this out without ruining it. Right, kind of have to stand. I literally just cast it out and I hit the lilies, so I thought I better bring that back. This could be a problem. Absolutely stunning little rudd. Absolutely beautiful. This clear water does really give them a really vivid colour. Right. I think we could have rudd problems. Can I cast this from sitting down? I'll give it a go. Probably not. I'm probably going to catch a tree. In fact, I am going to stand up. It's not exactly where I want it, but I don't think I'm actually going to get it where I want it. I kind of need to cast in the next swim, but I can't do that. We'll give it a go for a little while. If nothing happens, then I'll just go back on the feeder. Our Stockbridge Lake is an absolutely beautiful little gem in the kind of Farnham area, countryside. I don't actually know where it is. I don't know if it's classed as Farnham here. It backs onto a sort of the beautiful golf course, which is just over there. Which actually looks fairly quiet today. Not hearing many people whacking their balls. It's very quiet and secluded here. There's a little road that runs along next to it there. You get the odd cyclist and runner going up there, but that's about it. Not a nibble yet. I thought I was going to get a problem with the rudd, but then I suppose once the bait gets down, you know, it's 5.5 odd foot down, less likely to get picked up by the rudd. It does make me think how much of my the casters that I've been firing out, how many of them actually made it down. Probably not many. Must admit, over the other side of the lake, straight across from me, there was a big lily bed right next to the bank. I think if I was seriously just float fishing, that's where I would be. Probably not much good for feeder fishing because you'd really struggle to get the fish around them. Looking at it, I think those bubbles that I think I saw are actually rudd topping around my float. Yeah. I'm probably going to give it half an hour. I've probably only got a couple of hours at the most left before we start to lose the light a little bit too much and I need to get back. So I'll probably, yeah, half an hour, hour tops. Then I'll go back onto the feeder, I think, for the last bit. Hopefully we can get another one. nearly end game. I'm going to try one last thing, and that is to fish this just to the edge of the lilies. Just see if there's anything there. Maybe I should have gone up the other end of the lake, but we are where we are, so still smelling good. Right, let's give this a little underarm flick. Let's see if there's anything at home. Well, there we go. It's starting to lose the light now. No more fish. Just one of those things. But at least I had a tench. Nice fish. Just wish there was a few more. But the conditions are, pretty tough. Proper hot, very high air pressure. I think morning probably would have been the better bet, but like I said earlier, I couldn't be bothered to get up this morning. Maybe I should have, but there we go. There we go. I mean, I've spoken to, there's now 4 people on the lake, of which I think one of them's had a rudd, one little rudd, and that's it. So I was quite lucky to get the tench that I did by the sounds of it. But it's still been an absolutely brilliant little session here. Sitting next to this beautiful lake. Cannot complain at all. So thank you very much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.